Quartermaster comes in. Field is set for the first on the program. Light goes on. Ready, and they're off and racing now. And they've jumped away in a pretty good sort of a line too. Sharp as Crescent Ray, Raft Boy away well near the inside. Spender Dollar jumped out quickly. Master Eclipse wider out when they jumped the first hurdle. Kohlrabi customarily getting well back in the field, and Haven Court Quartermaster a fair way back too. At the second jump in the race now, and here moving up on the outside, Spender Dollar takes over the running from Sharp as, and they're about 3 or 4 lengths to Crescent Ray and Master Eclipse, Quartermaster Haven Court. Then Raft Boy and Nymphus, followed by Georgie Sun and Kohlrabi last of all. Spender Dollar the leader coming up towards the next jump. Hurdles that one well about 3 lengths clear. Running second is Sharp as, and a good break of about 8 lengths then to Quartermaster in third placing on the outside of Crescent Ray when they draw to the next hurdle. Leader got into it. Then came Haven Court, Master Eclipse wrapped the top of it, followed by Raft Boy, Nymphus. Second last Georgie Sun, Kohlrabi last of all. These two going out quickly. Here's the next hurdle, and Spender Dollar again not handling it well. Jumped that one only about a neck in front, and Sharp as is applying more pressure to him turning out of the straight, and they've kicked right away. They're a good dozen lengths in front now from Quartermaster, who's in third spot turning out of the straight, being followed by Haven Court and Crescent Ray together. A break of 3 or 4 lengths then to Raft Boy, Master Eclipse, Georgie Sun, Nymphus and Kohlrabi last of all. Spender Dollar about a half a length in front of Sharp as on the outside, drawing up towards the first on the riverside now. These two speedsters come to it and jump together. They both jump well. At least 12 lengths to Quartermaster, Haven Court, 2 to Crescent Ray, Raft Boy, and then Georgie Sun, Master Eclipse, and the greys are at the rear of the field. They're Kohlrabi and Nymphus on the outside of him. Sharp as has gone to the lead now at the next hurdle, and he hurdles that one a length and a half in front of Spender Dollar, who made a slight mistake, and they're at least 15 lengths in front now from Haven Court and Quartermaster together. And there's Raft Boy hooked out 3 wide to make some ground when they go to the next hurdle. Back behind him is Crescent Ray, and he was being followed by Georgie Sun, Master Eclipse, Kohlrabi and Nymphus. So they've raced past the 1400 metre mark, and Sharp as the leader now. He's trying to steady him down coming towards the next jump. The leader's a length and a quarter. He didn't jump it well. Spender Dollar a length behind him now. And then a good break of at least 10 lengths to Raft Boy, followed by Quartermaster. Crescent Ray was next on the outside when they go to that next hurdle, and the favourite jumped it better. Further back, Georgie Sun, Haven Court, a gap Master Eclipse, who's struggling at the moment from Kohlrabi and Nymphus. 1,000 metres to go now. Sharp as drawing up towards the third last hurdle in the race. Comes to this one, put in a big leap. Spender Dollar reached for it in second placing, 2 lengths away. Raft Boy 2 lengths back third. Quartermaster under pressure closing. Georgie Sun next from Crescent Ray. Master Eclipse is coming again. Then a long break, Haven Court, Kohlrabi and Nymphus. Sharp as, 6.50 to go, led by 2 lengths, but he's worked hard in the run. Raft Boy behind him under pressure is second. Quartermaster the outside, and then Spender Dollar dropping out of it. Georgie Sun pulled wide, and Master Eclipse only about 3 or 4 lengths from the lead now. Into the straight, 2 hurdles to jump, 500 to run. Sharp as straightened up by 2 lengths to Raft Boy, Master Eclipse and Georgie Sun. Here's the second last one now. Sharp as wrapped the top, but he has a 2-length break still. Master Eclipse got the second on the rails, and then Georgie Sun, Raft Boy dropping out now, but Sharp as measures the last, comes to it, clears it well from Master Eclipse, and then Georgie Sun followed by Raft Boy. But Sharp as, a very fast hurdler and a smart jumper, coming away now in the last bit. He's a very good fellow. Sharp as goes on to win it by about 3 lengths to Master Eclipse. Third Georgie Sun, Raft Boy is fourth. Then came Kohlrabi and Crescent Ray together, followed by Quartermaster, Haven Court, Nymphus, and Spender Dollar is a long last. Now, Sculptured Arch has gone back into the stalls. Hello Melbourne is back there with the clerk of the course, bridleless at this stage. And Silver, they're all locked away, the lights on, and they're off and racing now. And Demon Fever began well, so too did Grey Bomber, and Sculptured Arch away well with Kiskin. Olympus has gone out very fast down to the inside now. Prince Malcolm not too far away from the pace as they settle into stride. They've gone through the first 200 metres, and Olympus led. Sculptured Arch and Demon Fever's gone up to make a line of 3 on the outside. Prince Malcolm behind them, followed by Kiskin, Indian Ruby wider out. Then Silver Scout and How Regal, and last is Grey Bomber. They race in with 500 left to go, and Olympus being niggled at just the leader to Sculptured Arch and Demon Fever on the outside of those. Kavanagh calling on him, and then came Prince Malcolm back behind them. Kisket and Indian Ruby. He's gone for the whip on Demon Fever. Sculptured Arch and Olympus are locked together by a length and a half to Demon Fever at the 200, and then Prince Malcolm. It's Sculptured Arch taking the lead, ducking in from Olympus. Demon Fever on the outside, but Sculptured Arch led with 50 metres to go from Olympus and Demon Fever, and Sculptured Arch wins it by a length and a quarter. Demon Fever. Third placing went to Olympus on the rails, and they were followed Silver Scout and Kiskin. Prince Malcolm next, and then Indian Ruby, How Regal and Grey Bomber at the rear. Placings on the Royal Handicap. Number 3, Sculptured Arch, Mark Flaherty has won it in 57.4. Number 3, Sculptured Arch, Mark Flaherty first. Second placing goes to number 1, Demon Fever, D. Kavanagh. And third, number 12, Olympus, ridden by D. Adam. It's 3, 1 and 12. Fourth in the race was number 6, Silver Scout. In the third event today, scratch 7, Desperate Sweep and 8, Waldara. And in race 4, scratch 8, Expectations and 17, Diamond Fortunes. The rider for 9, Molten Drain, A.G. Clark and 8. Contract on the outside, so the 8 runners are locked away. 17 fences on their journey. King Kelton inclined to rear. Field settles down. There's a light and they're off and racing in the Glam Steeple Chase, and Jealous Dancer away okay on the inside. Bent Along Point beat him out. Wolver Action handy with Narako, and Contract wider out when they draw up towards the first of 17. And in behind those, Trainery, King Kelton and Mowgli at the rear. It's Bent Along Point, the early leader, coming up towards the second fence in the race, and he's clearly in front now. Into the lane for the 5, and Bent Along Point draws up to this one and jumped it in front of Jealous Dancer and Wolver Action the outside, and Mowgli's gone. The Bolter's gone at the end of the field. Fallen at the second, Horse and Rider okay. And at the next fence now, all jumping that one successfully. Bent Along Point going clear by 3 lengths. Wolver Action, Contract the outside, Jealous Dancer the rails at the next one. And Wolver Action didn't jump it well, and nor did Jealous Dancer. Next was Narako, a long break to Trainery and King Kelton at the next fence now, going out hard in this jumping event as well. And Bent Along Point drawing up towards the 5th one in the lane, leading 3 lengths to Contract, Wolver Action, Jealous Dancer, Narako as they jump it. In behind those, a long break to Trainery and King Kelton. Turning out of the straight now, they've jumped the first 6, 11 fences left to go on their journey, and Bent Along Point takes them to the riverside with a lead of 2.5 lengths to Contract second. Moving up, Wolver Action to the third, and then 2 lengths Narako outside, Jealous Dancer when they go to the 4th on the riverside now, and then Trainery, who's second last, and King Kelton is last of all. Here's the next fence coming up. Bent Along Point fencing well, leading by a good margin. Must be 5 or 6 to Contract, and about 4 lengths then to Jealous Dancer. Wolver Action on his outside, followed by Narako when they jump the next fence. Back behind him, a break of 8 or 10 lengths to Trainery, and King Kelton at the rear. Well strung out, coming towards the next fence now, and Bent Along Point jumps over that one, about 10 lengths to Contract, and about 4 lengths then to Jealous Dancer. Wolver Action is next, and he's given a crack with the whip to stay with them, followed by Narako and then Trainery and King Kelton. But Bent Along Point heads out towards the treble now with a very big lead, coming up towards the 7th last fence near the 1200 metre mark. He's gone out the best part of 15 lengths now to Contract in second placing, and then Jealous Dancer when they jump the first of the treble. Jealous Dancer didn't jump it well at the middle of the treble. Bent Along Point 15 to Contract, and a length and a half to Jealous Dancer. Long break Narako, Trainery, King Kelton and Wolver Action. They've gone over the third of the treble now, and they've got nowhere near Bent Along Point with 1,000 to go. 4 to jump. He's still 15 or 20 lengths, probably 20 lengths in front of Contract, and 3 to Jealous Dancer. Favourite has some work to do at the 4th last one. Bent Along Point well clear of Contract. Jealous Dancer 3 lengths behind Contract. A long break. Trainery and Narako's crashed at that one. At the next fence now, and Bent Along Point still well clear. 10 lengths to Contract and 3 to Jealous Dancer. 15 away to King Kelton and Trainery. Wolver Action's walking over that fence. Coming up towards the second last one. Bent Along Point steadies, jumps it well. 6 in front of Contract. Jealous Dancer again didn't jump it well. He's lost ground on the old 12 12-year-old hooks out to have a crack at Benelong Point. At the top of the straight there, 6 lengths to Jealous Dancer, along break Trainery and King Keldon, but Contract, he's dashed away into the straight and down to the last one. Contract steadies at the last, comes to it, jumps it safely from Benelong Point, then 8 lengths to Jealous Dancer, Trainery and King Keldon. 12 years of age, this fellow. Kicked right away, Contract from Benelong Point and Jealous Dancer. Inside the 200-metre mark, Contract and Steve Jenkins have got it shot to pieces from Benelong Point and Jealous Dancer, and it's Contract who'll win the Glam Steeplechase in a breeze. Contract has won it by 25 lengths. Benelong Point has run second. Jealous Dancer is the Trainery fourth, and King Keldon was next, with Wolver Action distanced in the race. Narako falling. And when ready, the light goes on. Set and racing, jumped away to a pretty good sort of a start. Marabou's Phantom, one of the first to bounce out. Tight Ruler and Monmouth zips around them quickly, looking for a good place, and Past Habit coming across with it. Going forward, Double-Ended and Gold Topaz from Malted Grain. When they settle down through the first 250, Monmouth led Past Habit, who's got across well into second placing. Tight Ruler third, the inside from Malted Grain, and Gold Topaz over on the outside, trap wide, 1,000 to go. He was being followed a bit further back by Mr. Bumble, Clarion Call, Double-Ended, Marabou's Phantom, the rails, and then came Marine Habit. Back behind them, Master Ken and Ash and Prince. Promoso on the fence. A good gap then to John Check, followed by Roman General and Jevazema's last of all when they race to the turn. About 650 metres left to go, and Monmouth just the leader. Coming up towards the bend around the home turn, he's in front of Malted Grain, the outside. Tight Ruler a length and a half behind them, and they're followed then by Gold Topaz and Past Habit. Mr. Bumble pulled out wide for his run, and then Clarion Call. And back behind those horses, Marabou's Phantom looking for a run clear. Monmouth led 400 to go to Malted Grain, the outside. Marabou's Phantom's into the clear. Challenges very strongly, and then Tight Ruler. Double-Ended diving up on the inside. Gold Topaz dropped right out of it. Marabou's Phantom had hit the front at the 200. He's drawn away. Ash and Prince out of the pack is finishing well, and then Double-Ended. Marabou's Phantom in front. Ash and Prince picking him up on the inside. Marabou's Phantom about to hit in front. Ash and Prince diving up. They hit the line. Bobbing finish. I think Ash and Prince has kicked up and beaten Marabou's Phantom in the photo. Third placing to Double-Ended, and then Roman General. John Check, Malted Grain. Further back to finish then Promoso on the rails, and they were trailed in then by Jevazem and Tight Ruler. Gold Topaz didn't go on. Next, Master Ken. Marine Habit well back in the field. So too was Past Habit. Clarion Call, Mr. Bumble, and the early leader Monmouth towards the rear. It's a photo to decide the winner. There's not much between them. Ash and Prince finishing quickly along the inside. Night Prowl going in to join them. All in, set to go, field locked away. There's the light, and they're off and racing now, and again Certain Strike a little slow to move, and Gademus beat him out easily near the outside. Down towards the rail now, and Impressionism jumped out quickly and led Physical Lad. Away fast also Yankee Miner and Smooth Bay. Stamp of Approval going up towards the leaders. High Waters just behind them now. As they settle into stride and race down towards the 900-metre mark, Yankee Miner went clear by a length and a half to Physical Lad. Impressionism. Stamp of Approval on their outside. Smooth Bay wider out from Coal Crusher, and Gademus very deep. Hawks Era behind them with Crescent Jim and High Waters, and then came Certain Strike. He's over on the outside, about 10 horses away from the rails, being followed by Red Ernie, and on the outside is Night Proud, and further back in the field is Rich Judgment and Mosso. They race down with 450 to go. Yankee Miner led Stamp of Approval by a length and a half, and then Impressionism. Physical Lads under pressure. Gademus wide out, and then Night Proud. Certain Strike not doing enough. Yankee Miner led 250 to go from Stamp of Approval. Gademus is finishing quickly, and then Crescent Jim. It's Gademus out in the centre of the course, storming to the front at the 100. Crescent Jim trying to pick him up. Gademus about a half in front of Crescent Jim. Gademus doing enough. Gademus wins 3/4. Crescent Jim. Yankee Miner 2 away third. Stamp of Approval fourth. Then Rich Judgment, Mosso, Physical Lad, High Waters and Night Prowl. In behind those Certain Strike, never going to win it, followed by Hawks Era. Impressionism was next, and they were trailed further back in the field by Lock Walk and Smooth Bay at the dock and Red Ernie. Coal Crusher towards the end. Coxon second last. Opaque Fair last. Here's Grooming approaching the stalls, and Cocktail Charlie. 2 to move up. Grooming coming in for the Rothsay handicap, locked away. Field is set. 1400 the journey. They're ready to go. An attendant climbing in. Tobin Gold down on the inside. Ready for a start now. The light goes on. Racing. Tobin Gold began very quickly. Futurism heads him off in a stride, and also away pretty quickly over near the outside there. Going forward, Abstainer looking for a prominent role. And as they settle into stride now, it's Abstainer finding the lead from booting up along the inside. Stain Crossfella to try and hold the rails, and about 2 lengths then to Apollo Warrior, who's racing a little erratically third. And they were followed then by Acure to the rails with it. Red Cabaret, Futurism the outside. Wonder Southern Challenge off the pace today. Next in the field, Tobin Gold getting up on the inside, then Missouri Burning. Cocktail Charlie is being followed by Grooming over near the inside rail. Timar wide out when they went past the 800. Males choices with those, and then came Roseanne's Boy, and a long way back Regimental Lord and Highly Geared. Abstainer a clear leader at the 600 to Stain Crossfella, the margin over 2 lengths. Moving up as Red Cabaret over on the outside, and then Acura well placed at the top of the straight. They were being followed by Apollo Warrior, and Southern Challenge hooked out wide for his run. In the straight, Tobin Gold was next. It's Abstainer in front at the 400, led by 2 lengths now to Acula, going out strongly. Then Stain Crossfella, followed by Tobin Gold, Missouri Burning. Southern Challenge not going on. Apollo Warrior, Timar stake claims. Acula trying to reach Abstainer at the 200. Acula drew level with Abstainer. Timar closing, and here's Grooming with a rattling run out wide. Acula in front of down the outside now. Grooming flashing home. Grooming goes up to Acula. Grooming put his head in front, and Grooming beat Acula by a long head. Third placing went to Timar, and Highly Geared came from last. Next Abstainer, followed Missouri Burning, and then came Regimental Lord, Apollo Warrior. He was followed by Southern Challenge and Cocktail Charlie, Tobin Gold. Followed by Stain Crossfella, Roseanne's Boy, Red Cabaret, Futurism second last, and Male's Choice was last. Set for a start, the light goes on, and they're off and racing. Glacier Peak the first to bounce out towards the inside from Urangi Oakwood. The Farmer Apollo Run drifting back, and there's Instant Policy zooming up looking for the lead. Lord Melbourne away well today, and as they settle into stride through the first 200 metres, it's Instant Policy the leader, about a length and a quarter in front of Oakwood, and Lord Melbourne the outside, and then Glacier Peak. Back behind those horses, Tiendi on the outside, and they're followed by the Farmer tucked in on the rails, followed by Urangi. Back behind those horses then came Mind My Boy, followed by the over on the inside as Apollo Run. He's followed by I'm a Redmond, then Prince Garno, Native Neptune, Abstraction well back, and Simonini towards the tail end. By the 1400 metre mark, Instant Policy over a length in front of Oakwood, and a length and a half away Glacier Peak third, the inside of Tiendi. Lord Melbourne pushing between those two horses. Then a break of about 2 lengths behind those is Urangi out 3 wide. Between runners is the Mind My Boy, the Farmer on the rails, and then I'm a Redmond. He's followed by Native Neptune. Well back Apollo Run on the rails, followed by Simonini, Abstraction, and Prince Garno last passing the 1000 metre mark. Haven't gone hard, an Instant Policy by about a half a length to Oakwood, and a length and a half away in third placing Lord Melbourne, Tiendi. Back behind those horses, Glacier Peak on the rails, and he's followed by Urangi. Then the Farmer on the fence, and further back in the field, sweeping up towards the turn, I'm a Redmond pulled out to make a run. Apollo Run's awkwardly placed. He is going to need a bit of luck when they sweep up towards the home turn, and with him is Simonini, Abstraction, and Prince Garno as they sweep round the home turn. Oakwood went to the lead now from Instant Policy, still with the rails and fighting back. Lord Melbourne third at the top of the straight, and they were followed by Urangi. Tiendi on the outside, then Glacier Peak. Apollo Run back behind those horses. Ahead of him though is the Farmer. Oakwood's dashed away though, down to the 300. He's opened up 2 or 3 to Instant Policy and Lord Melbourne. Then Tiendi. Apollo Run lucky to be in the placings. It's all Oakwood below the 200. He's gone out 4 or 5 now to Lord Melbourne, Instant Policy. Native Neptune finishing well, but it's Oakwood well clear, 50 to go, holding Lord Melbourne. Native Neptune rattling home, but Oakwood easily. Oakwood first by 2 lengths to Lord Melbourne, and a half ahead Native Neptune third, then Simonini and the Farmer, Abstraction, followed by Instant Policy. Apollo Run was next. He was trailed in by Tiendi, and then Mind My Boy, Urangi well back. So was Glacier Peak and Prince Garno, and the last to finish was I'm a Redmond. Couple of attendants climbing in, one in with Gondivore now. Light goes on, off and racing. Jumped away reasonably well too, and beyond the bay, one of the first to bounce out from Earn the Right. Skamar began quickly, booting up near the inside. Hard-ridden Noble Talent can't hold its early place at the moment, and Nelligan's Flower was away well with Eye Solid. Volcanic Ruler up in the leading division, looking for a sit now, and as they settle down and race up towards the 1700 metre mark, Skamar went to the lead to Nelligan's Flower out wide. Earn the Right back on the inside, third, followed then by Cruncher. Going up forward on the outside of those is Trompet, followed by King Tide, and then Noble Talent the rails, followed by Beyond the Bay. Eye Solid with those horses, and they were being followed by Volcanic Ruler in the centre. Chevelle Cavalier's got well back in the field, in company there with it as Knights and Mark Inch and Gondivore on the rails. So there hasn't been a great deal of pace on in this race now as they race up to the 1200 metre mark. Nelligan's Flyer in the middle is a narrow leader here from Trompet. The outside, Skamar still with the rails, a length to Cruncher, Earn the Right. They were being followed then by King Tide, and then Beyond the Bay, followed by Noble Talent, the rails, and Eye Solid. About a length then to Volcanic Ruler, a length and a half to Chevelle Cavalier and Mark Inch, and back towards the tail end to Gondivore on the inside, and Knights. About 12 lengths covered the field at the 800 metre mark, nearing the turn, and now Nelligan's Fly got about a neck in front. Skamar still with the rails, a length and a quarter then to Cruncher on the outside, and Earn the Right the fence, and one then to Beyond the Bay, who's well placed approaching the turn. Noble Talent on the rails, and then Volcanic Ruler, who's running into it, followed by King Tide. Eye Solid's been wide. Chevelle Cavalier well back in the field. Knights amongst the tail enders when they sweep around the home turn. Mark Inch well back from Gondivore and Trompet. In the straight, 450 to go. Nelligan's Flyer led Skamar. Volcanic Ruler having a bump there, but he's coming home solidly. And Chevelle Cavalier from well back is closing very rapidly, and then a long gap to Knights. Chevelle Cavalier got to the lead from Volcanic Ruler, and Nelligan's Flyer, then a long break to Knights. Chevelle Cavalier's kicked away though with 100 to go. Well clear now, Volcanic Ruler, followed by Nelligan's Flyer and Knights, but Chevelle Cavalier will canter home. Eased up, it's won it by about 4 lengths to Volcanic Ruler second. Third, probably Knights, and a photo from Nelligan's Flyer, and then Eye Solid, a gap